I'm feeling stressed out at the moment, so I think I'll do something that's sort of interesting, I suppose. Roughly in about 10 or 15 days, I can't remember when it is, I actually started. It'll be my 5-year vegan anniversary. So I've been vegan for 5 years, which is fucking crazy to look back on. I was going to make something to sort of celebrate it, but I don't feel it at the moment. Just feeling very stressed out and tired. There's all different things happening in my life right now. But I feel like I can get away with talking about something like this. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that people have. Like, I can answer a few things here. Like, I suppose one thing I'll be asked is it difficult? Was it difficult starting? And the answer is no. I used to be vegan back in 2016. I quit because power of horniness. I had a girlfriend overseas, and she wasn't a vegan, but she had the right mindset. So I just felt like I needed to impress her. So I stopped being vegan, which was a very stupid thing of me to do. Very cowardly on my end. And yeah, and literally like, the first thing I had, I think, was like a doner kebab from the kebab shop. Or maybe it was a meat feast pizza from Domino's, I can't remember. It's weird that I remember that detail. But so I stopped being vegan then, and eventually I got around to making meals again for myself. And I made a bolognese with bacon. Yeah, like mince and bacon, and I got ill. It was because I didn't cook the bacon. It just made me realise how stupid meat is in general, like how dangerous it could be. Because even cooking something for like 20 minutes, like raw bacon, in a dish, you know, to me that just indicates that it's not very safe, and that's just sort of clicked in my head, like, oh, well, I liked being vegetarian before that, because I was vegetarian before that, actually, for vegan, and I was vegetarian for a few years. I actually got introduced to it as a kid, with like a bolognese, like, I'll say someone in my family, I'm not going to dox myself, my family, but someone in my family cooked vegetarian meals, and because I was open-minded, I tried them, and I liked them. And the first thing I had was like corn bolognese, and that was fucking gorgeous. It was so good. I honestly preferred it over meat, and I think it's because there's like a sign that meat isn't just cutting it for me. So all that sort of come together and made me think, okay, I don't really need meat. And when I started looking at it or thinking about it, I don't really need vegetarian stuff either. I don't know eggs or dairy or anything. And the final thing that sort of clicked in my head was one day I got sick from eating too much chocolate I got for Christmas. It's a weird story, I know. And it just clicked in my head that, yeah, this isn't healthy. And I've really also made the connection there to animal rights, where I realised it wasn't good for the animals either, because if I was feeling sorry for myself, why am I not feeling more sorry for the dairy cows who unfortunately go through hell to make that chocolate, pretty much. And I originally went vegan because of Gary Yourofsky's speech, which was very powerful, and it still holds relevance today. Later on, I just sort of dived into it, and around January time, I said I'm going vegan. I don't see myself going back. And I got more into like the debate sphere and stuff, like looking at arguments from both sides about vegan diets and lifestyle and whatever. It's what led me to getting into a more ethical lifestyle, which actually has led me to better places and like getting more sustainable products, better shirts and stuff. Like Vegan Outfitters, a good shout out to them. Best shirts I've ever had. Not only is the print in good condition after over a year or two of use, it's also very soft, which is good for me with hypersensitivity. And they're also apparently, I don't know what you call that actually, basically not made with slave labour, according to that site anyway. And that's just a big win for me. I've tried shirts from other places and stuff, and nothing really compares, honestly. Also, even though I got a hoodie from somewhere else. Yeah, those are sort of lifestyle choices that I sort of do now, and I also do the same for my current custom guitar, which is in the works at the moment. I've already sort of paying for the installments, and this year I'm going to have my own custom guitar, and that's apparently all vegan. So yeah, what else can I say? Yeah, whether it was hard to start or whatever, still be on it. No, it wasn't. Believe it or not, I think sometimes being vegan can be the best thing for hypersensitivity. Because I was diagnosed autistic as a child, and I didn't know I had hypersensitivity. I knew I hated loud noises. Like, I used to hate fire bells in school. Literally hell. There's no other way to describe it. But I never used to be picky about food, and I think that was because I was just more open-minded. I've tried crazy things before. I've tried squid, I've tried crab. That was when I used to be a meat eater. I think what else did I try? I tried mussels, I fucking hated them. Literally the worst seafood I've ever tasted. But yeah, I don't really miss anything either. That's the other question I'll get. You know, it's been so long since I've even touched cheese or anything, and even accidentally touching it, by the way, which I have. I've been to restaurants because I've been able to overcome my anxiety. You know, I ordered like vegan options, and I got a vegan pizza. Supposedly I asked for vegan, and I looked at it and I thought, I don't like vegan cheese. Took a bite and it wasn't. It was literally mozzarella. Just standard mozzarella, and I could just taste it because it had the creaminess to the dairy. It's just, that put me off it, honestly. I never liked the creaminess of dairy. It's hard for me to find chocolates in that to a certain extent because I hated the creaminess. I always stuck to like dark chocolate. Cheese I liked as long as it was strong, like extra mature. I never really tried other cheeses. I don't miss cheese that much anymore because we've got great alternatives like Cathedral City plant-based. Applewood smoked is great. Mexican I did one for a while, but it seems to have disappeared. I don't mind that spicy cheese. It seems to go off easily though, I did notice that. Maybe that's why I stopped selling it. God, there's so many good cheeses. I have an entire list of vegan food that I just think is outstanding. I think includes like crisps and stuff. It's just all the junk food. As for meat, I don't miss any meat. There's an alternative that I miss, which was like doner kebab, and I can't find it anywhere in shops. They seem to have stopped selling it, which is annoying because it's like the only vegan doner kebab, the only vegan lamb thing that actually tasted good. And you know, I put a bit of, well, I only discovered Red Hot sauce recently, Frank's Red Hot. But I'll put a bit of that on it, and it'd just be gorgeous, I think. And there's so many good meals that I have anyway, even without the meat alternatives, having said that. Because I've sort of experimented with looking into different sort of proteins and basically healthier alternatives because I am overweight as it is. Believe it or not, I've not lost any weight since being vegan. I've actually put it on. It's probably because I'm a fat fuck, but I've always been a fat fuck. I don't think that's going to change necessarily. I've even tried to put exercise into my routine, but I think that's making me put on more weight. Because I'm gaining the muscle strength for that. I was saying, oh yeah, the experimenting. I've tried lentils and beans and stuff, and I think so far my favourite thing has been lentils and beans, like red lentils for like bolognese or just anything tangy, tomatoey, or peppery, because it really complements it. Also, I noticed that when my last housemate cooked lentils, it always smelled like KFC. It's like, oh my god, that is the one thing I do sort of miss. There was a vegan KFC thing, which is great. I haven't had it for years. That was actually one of the first things I had when I went vegan again. Fun fact. But yeah, I've had some great vegan chicken alternatives, like this isn't chicken is great as an alternative to like chicken pieces. Honestly, I've given it to people who love meat and they can't tell the difference. It literally tastes the same, and that's how good it is. What else? I'm trying to think. Like, there isn't really anything else I miss. Like, there are little niche things. Like, we have this thing in the UK called Angel Delight. I used to love that as a kid and sort of loved it as an adult. It wasn't too hard to make either. It's just put a bit of milk in a jar and whisk it and then put it in the fridge. It's very simple, but there's no vegan alternative to that. Vegan cheesecake's hard to come across. I've found one, I think, ever. I've also, someone in my family's made one that is decent. But honestly, I have to be honest about those things. It's nice, but the texture wasn't great. It's fine, I find food edible even if the texture isn't great. I can still eat it. I think I might try and make it my own one day. I don't know yet. Yeah, there are a lot of desserts that we don't get vegan for some reason. We even have tiramisu, but we can't have like a trifle, which seems to be rare, even though there is trifles, but it's rare where I live. But like most things can be made vegan anyway, and in terms of like meat alternatives, meat alternatives taste better than meat, just off memory. And I've noticed a lot of vegans and non-vegans say this a lot. It's because they are just generally better. There's more seasoning, there's more sort of concentration on the flavourful aspects of alternative meat. Because especially they study the elements that make up meat and try to replicate that in a plant-based manner. So I think it's like pea protein for like Beyond stuff. I think others used something else. I'm trying to think what they use. I've lost it. It's not soy. It's definitely something else. But I think they've absolutely nailed most of the meat alternatives now. And one of the best things literally ever in Aldi, however you say it, they have plant-based bad sausages. I used to love those from the chip shop. And they're one of the best things there, other than a deep-fried Mars bar, which I doubt you can get vegan. You can probably make one vegan because we have Buttermilk brand, which does vegan alternatives to famous chocolate bars. But the battered sausages were just something else. They were crazy. But these plant-based ones are really good. I've also gotten meat eaters to try them and they love it. It's just really good. I have it with some Mayflower curry sauce, which apparently is vegan. And that's just, yeah, that's a great meal. Often have it with chips or ham peas. Just a standard fish and chip thing. So I think another question I get is like nutrition. Like, I'm not going to answer where do I get my protein. People who ask, I don't know where protein comes from. It's as simple as that. It's something you have to answer yourself because I already know what protein comes from. Plants, spoiler that. But like nutrition, I tend to have a multivitamin every day. The only one I found that my stomach can tolerate for the most part is Veg One by the Vegan Society. And that's been pretty reliable for me for the past few years. And I've also added on to that, I go into the breakfast thing after, But I've also added omega-3 algae oil, and that's been doing wonders for me. It's made me better at most things, I think. This shit is anecdotal, but I generally find the omega-3 helps with different things. Like I've noticed my immune system be a bit stronger. I seem to be a bit more memorable and I guess you could say intelligent in the sense like I problem solve much better since being on omega-3 than I used to. So yeah, obviously that's anecdotal, I don't need evidence. The other things I do for my diet now is I try to include more fibre because I struggle with fibre. I used to get really bad constipation and I realised I should probably make some proper breakfast and aside having overnight oats. In that I'll have frozen blueberries, bananas, sometimes frozen banana because they go off otherwise, I don't like them when they go off. It's fucking horrible. I also have raisins slash sultanas in it. What else? Yeah, milled flaxseed, that's the other important part. I can only have milled because I can't digest whole flaxseed. I don't know why that is. Nobody's really answered that for me. It's really bad for my ulcerative colitis, which I did develop whilst on the diet, but it's not related, I don't think. It's just stress. Stress was one of the symptoms, and that was what I was experiencing a few years ago. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I also tried to make it taste nice because I generally can't stand the taste of banana. Blueberries are alright, a bit weird sometimes. And raisins are fine, I like raisins. But like, it just never tastes great. And I started using different sort of milk alternatives instead. So I started with like soy milk and hazelnut milk a long time ago, and even chocolate flavoured milk. But I realised it wasn't healthy, the chocolate milk anyway. The others are fine. Also got vanilla milk, which I imagine is healthier than chocolate, and that's great. But in terms of flavouring, I just tend to go over cheap vegan milk, and then I add some sort of sweet stuff to it, like, or just like to flavour it. So I do Biscoff, or Oreos, or peanut butter and golden syrup, or at the moment I have a entire stock of syrups because someone didn't want them. I took them off them because they're mostly vegan. I didn't find any that weren't, luckily. So I only took the ones that were vegan and I use them, and I just do it interchangeably. That way I'm also getting sort of a balanced sort of diet out of it. And it tastes nice. I've not really had anything to complain about with them. Yeah, that's pretty much my health. Like for lunches, I just do instant noodles, or I plan on going to Huel when I finish my multivitamins again, because I think I might be able to have it. I could be wrong. I do miss Huel. It's nice. It's nice to have that and like a bag of crisps after. Which I just replace the Huel with anything else. That's what I have now. It could be sandwiches. I could also be going out that day, so I might not eat much, or I'll just eat lunch out, obviously. For dinners or tea, however you say it, I just tend to have a normal meal. It's never really anything sort of lunchy unless there's something reduced that I found at the shops. I just tend to have a normal meal. Like it could be a curry, it could be something out of the freezer. Or it literally could be anything. It's just random what it is. Yeah, that's really it. I do snack in the day. I have various like vegan chocolate and snacks. For some reason, someone bought me a bag of pistachio nuts that were roasted and still have the shells on. I don't know why. It's one of the most random gifts I got this year. Last year even. So I'm going through that. I also have noisy snacks, which are decent. Oh, could be honest about those. Some of them are not great because of the coating. Just taste a bit weird at times. A bit off-putting as well. Just sensory hell for me, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty much my diet though. I do have drinks as well. Like I can drink alcohol sometimes. I do drink soft drinks, but also like healthier soft drinks. Like I have San Pellegrino. I have Whole Earth at the moment. I have Dalston, which is great. And there's also like Karma drinks, which are good, but they're bloody expensive. And that's why I don't buy them. It's just not worth it. I'd rather go with something cheaper. Yeah, I laid off sweeteners because I was getting really bad side effects from them, like constant depression and suicidal thoughts. So I just figured it's not worth it. So I've stopped having them really, and essentially, the damage that sugar will do to me is just far outweighs the damage that suicidal thoughts do. At least in my opinion. I think that's all it is for diet. There's really nothing special. I do drink about 3 litres of water per day. 1.5 here. Yeah, it's 3 litres. And you also get it from food and also soft drinks. I plan on having alcohol today. Got a Thatcher's blackcurrant, which I've got as a gift. I'm gonna have that. I'm not that keen on blackcurrant. I'm actually not that keen on most ciders, funny enough. I only like blood orange cider and basically things that are flavoured. Like flavoured cider, which is generally good. I love Thatcher's Rascal, which is like a strong version. What else is there? Yeah, Brothers Toffee Apple and Brothers Bakewell Tart is fucking gorgeous. I do drink beer as well. I've gone on 5 PAs a bit. I prefer lagers. My favourite lagers are probably Leffe, Blonde and Brunet, and Innocent Gun whiskey. Whiskey and beer. I also don't mind Cobra. Cobra's really good. I had that in an Indian restaurant once when I went out with people. It tasted sweet. Like, there's not much I can complain about with alcohol other than the alcohol content. I tried wines as well. I like some wines, but not all of them. Yeah, I've been all over the place, and you can find vegan alcohol, luckily, which all this is. You find it on Barnivore. Sometimes it's not very reliable, but other times it is. There's generally not much to complain about there. Yeah, there's one thing I could talk about actually, gaming. I think for some reason there's not many vegan gamers, and I think that's partly because people either don't play them or don't play them enough. It seems to be rare to find vegan gamers, even though you can find them if you're online. But the problem is that that's an untapped market, and I do animal rights activism here and there. And I think it's important to do that however you can. Like, you need to find a way to support the animals. And that's why I'm vegan at the end. It's for environmental purposes, but also the animals. And I find it important to do that because the world isn't going to change without it. And the problem with farming animals is, first of all, how that would look in history. Second would be the impact that it has on future generations. And thirdly, this should be first actually, technically, but can you actually justify exploitation? That's the thing that's always been across my mind all these years. I just can't answer. Because I do try to devil's advocate in a sense, and this is one thing. You can't really answer most things, but this is one that's really difficult to answer. And I haven't found an answer to it, and it's so severe. I have literally thought about putting out a video saying that I'll pay money for someone to give me an answer. Because this just made me curious, and I'd instantly stop being vegan if there was a justifiable reason. to exploit animals, but at the moment there isn't. That's why I'm vegan. But in terms of the gaming stuff, there are people that play games. I've played games with other vegans. It is a non-tap market, and there's like one vegan game in development by Patrick Bohemian. I just can't remember his name. His series Earthraiser. I think that was the name. I was supposed to. I think that's the Earthraiser. I can't read it. But I kickstarted that, and my worry with that is it's going to be one of those games that just gets put in and laughed at as like an atrocity because of the graphics and stuff, and also potentially the story. Well, the gameplay could be decent, we don't know yet. But it's like a big worry for me. And the games take time to make, and they need to be polished before they release because it just becomes a laughing stock. And one of the problems with it is it's like made with assets on Unreal Engine, I think. And I think I can't remember. Like, the problem is that sometimes the art style just doesn't work. Sometimes you need to start from scratch. If you made an anime game with a vegan narrative, you've pretty much won. Because people crave anime games. And again, that's like an untapped market as well. Because there's so many things you could do with an anime game. Like, just look at Genshin Impact, for example. That blew up because it was a different sort of game style. You have your party members, you have your elemental reactions, got loadouts and stuff, and that's sort of a system that people like. But you also can't copy it now because it's already just been done. Which is a problem with future Hoververse games here. Because the thing that style just gets boring, but it also probably can't be a live service. But the other thing is that you just can't make a game that's completely a vegan story, because that'll just turn people off. Nobody's going to be interested in that, honestly. And I think this unfortunately goes for Earthraiser 2. I think the biggest disaster waiting for it more than the graphics is the story. I don't know if people are even going to touch it. Because I think people want a good story to begin with, and a good story in their eyes isn't necessarily for the average gamer. It isn't going to be Outer Rights. It's going to be something like Ball or I'm trying to think, like fantasy or mystery or adventure. You know, those are big things that people look out for, and even action. Like if you made a vegan Souls-like game, people might try it. It'll probably get more attention than most other games out there. But it's still like a slippery slope, so you just need to aim for a direction and plant seeds, essentially. That's the only way you can do it, and that's also what I'm doing with the future webcomic series I have coming up, which I've actually got the first one in editing at the moment as I'm making this. Yeah. I think that's all I have for like my 5 years of being vegan. As I said, I almost made like a song, but I just didn't feel up to it. I can't believe it's been 5 years already. And I still haven't died of protein deficiency, B12 deficiency. Well, the only deficiency that I know I have is iron, but even then, I've incorporated iron into my diet and I don't feel the effects of it as much. Yeah. And literally ask me anything you want. I don't care what it's about. Like, ask me if I've killed anybody. No, I don't. I haven't killed anybody. Yet. Yeah. Fuck's sake. It's crazy. I've heard so many excuses over the years, like why people can't be vegan. There isn't any anymore, unfortunately. I think a lot of this is experimentation, and it's also like self-discovery as well. The only way I've been able to be open-minded about food is by trying it. And if I don't like it, who cares? It's food. gulp it down. So slather it in sauce if you hate it that much. Or mustard strong. Wasabi, who knows. But the point is that you have to try. And that's really the thing that stops people more than anything. Yeah, thanks for listening. I'm not going to do any fancy video editing for this, I don't think. It's my vegan 5-year anniversary.